Yeah, I would say that for a first scrimmage, there was a lot of good hitting out there. I think it was obviously a difficult circumstance. This has been a difficult week. I think, in some ways, because of the new rules we have to protect players, maybe the players were a little less ready to scrimmage today than you typically would be because of the number of days that we've been able to have in pads. But saying all that to say this, I think, the opportunity that everybody has to look at what they did today, assess, kind of self-assess where they are, what they have to do to get better. There was a lot of good things out there and there was a lot of mistakes, but that's probably, what you expect in the first scrimmage, especially for young players. We did have some of the young players who, made some plays out there today, which I think is, a real positive for them. And, we really haven't tried to establish, depth charts. And I know that that's really something that's really important to you guys. But we're trying to give everybody an opportunity right now so that they do have a chance to compete and play and kind of see who responds the best in difficult circumstances. I mean, today's a difficult circumstance. We've been practicing every day and for all week. And it was something challenge to overcome the adversity relative to the circumstances and the condition. And some of the older players that are more experienced probably do that a little better than others, but I think it's a really good learning experience for some of the other guys. So, all in all, we know we have a lot of work to do to improve as a team, and we're going to continue to do that. That's why we got to practice. And I think the players have to be very committed to sort of a relentless standard of excellence that this team wants to aspire to. And that's going to come from every individual player on the team wanting to do that and doing the things they need to do it. So all in all, I'm not disappointed in where we are. When you watch the film, sometimes you learn different, but I'm sure every player will have the opportunity to sort of evaluate where they are and work hard to get better.
Okay, we'll get things started with Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, today was the first opportunity for Bill O'Brien to call plays in a game-like situation for you. What's that situation like, or what's that adjustment period like to get a new play caller on the offensive side?
Well, I think he was here in the spring, was he not? Didn't he call plays in the scrimmages in the spring and in the spring game? So it really wasn't the first time that he's ever done it, but I have a lot of confidence in Bill. He's a bright guy. He's really done a good job of adapting to the system that we had and making some tweaks and changes to actually try to improve it. So, we'll keep on working on it. And I think the big thing when you're in a scrimmage like this, you're trying to do the basic things so we can evaluate players. You're really not trying to scheme the other team. You're really trying to evaluate the personnel. So there's not really a game plan. You're not really assessing a game plan. You're really trying to evaluate execution of whatever it is that you call, and you're calling things that we practiced, and we haven't been able to practice everything the way we'd like to. And, as I always say, you don't practice things until you get it right. You practice it until you can't get it wrong. That's why repetition is important. And I don't think we've had enough of that yet.
Go to Charlie Potter.
Yeah, Coach, just what did you see from the quarterbacks today, especially Bryce, with him getting an opportunity to lead that first team?
I think Bryce did a good job today. I think we, have to play well around Bryce. At times today, I didn't think, maybe we did as good a job of that as we need to. It's all 11 guys. It's the offensive line. It's the receivers. It's all 11 guys so that he'll have, more opportunities to make plays. But I think when he had opportunities today, he did a really good job. So, I was pleased with his performance. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll be the first one to say, he's looking forward to working to, try to improve and, improve the production overall in terms of our execution on offense. And that's what's going to make us better.
Go to Cecil Hurd. None me, Cecil. There you
go. Coach, I have, I guess, a little bit off the wall question. You had a new Australian punter who I guess has never played football at all, college football, and wondered if y'all did punting and if you were able to see James Brunup and what he brought to the punting.
Yeah, he did a good job today. We have competition at the position. Both guys, did a pretty good job. And, we'll just see who comes out on top. But, he has punted a football before. All right. So he didn't come from the rugby field to the rugby ball to the football. He's been punting footballs for quite a long time. And really, we're not asking him to play football. We're asking him to punt it. And he did a pretty good job with that today. So, and I'm sure that being a young guy, as he gets more comfortable, more experienced, and more confident, he'll even do better, probably from a consistency standpoint.
Go to Aaron Suttles.
What have you seen from the defensive line so far, and how many guys do you think can contribute in that rotation?
I don't know. We probably have 8 or 9 guys that, might be able to contribute in that rotation. I also think that, with Will and Chris Allen, those 2 guys can play sort of defensive end, especially in nickel situations, gives us a little more athleticism, a little more pass rush. But, we've got 7 or 8 guys that have all, sort of rotated in there with the 1s and the 2s and back and forth. And they seem to be making pretty good progress.
Okay, we'll go to Mike Rodak.
What have you seen from Terrion Arnold, and just what skills does he have that translate from him playing safety to playing corner as well?
Well, I think, anytime a guy sort of changes positions, it's a little bit of a work in progress, for the guy. And, Terrion's a really good athlete. He's a hard worker. He's really conscientious. And I think the big thing right now is just consistency and technique. He's made a tremendous amount of improvement, in the few practices that we've had to this point. And he's got really good ball skills. He can run. He's very athletic. He's just, sort of got to refine his game a little bit from a technique standpoint, so he doesn't put himself in, kind of a disadvantaged position. So we're encouraged with the progress that he's made.
We'll go to Katie Wyndham.
Coach, you said some of the young guys were able to make some plays today. Maybe who were some of those guys? And then how much do you think having a relatively normal spring, summer, and fall compared to 2020 is going to help some of those freshmen be able to make an impact early?
Well, I can't really answer that. It's kind of a hypothetical question. So, last year we played pretty well relative to COVID. So I can't say that it was a disadvantage for our development. And we did have like 3 guys, start on defense in some role or capacity, as freshmen. And I think it was a disadvantage to the defense because you couldn't do anything against each other for a long time in the summer. That hasn't been the case, this year. So I think that's been helpful to all the players, but especially to the defensive players. And I do think we have some talented guys on offense that are young players, and it's going to be really interesting to see how those guys develop. Everybody develops at a little different, level and time. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And I'm not going to sit here and make predictions about anybody or put any expectations on anybody right now. We're just really encouraged with, our young receiver core. We're encouraged with a couple of the young DBs. We're encouraged by a lot of the young players that we have, and we want to just keep working with them and see how they progress.
We'll finish up with Stephen.
Coach, where have you seen Kendall Randolph improve on the offensive line?
Well, Kendall's done a really good job. I mean, he's a jack of all trades. He can play every position. Center, probably can't play center, but guard, tackle. He's played tight end for us before. He's worked at all those positions in camp. He can play right tackle. He can play left tackle. So, he's got a lot of maturity about him. He's very experienced, knowledgeable player. So, he sprained his ankle today. So that he didn't get to finish the scrimmage. And we hope it's not anything significant, but, he's really a key to the development of this offensive line because of his experience.
All right, Coach, thank you.